We talked often about love. He was an expert on this topic. He claimed that most of his patients, especially young ones, end up in psychiatric emergency rooms because of love disappointments. I could find out about it myself soon, as he left and contacted me with longer and longer breaks. I began to feel terrible fear. I could neither eat nor sleep. I could not stop my thoughts, and they turned more and more black. I stopped going to lectures. I stopped skipping. I was skipping exercises and seminars. Finally, I gave up. I didn't have strength to fight anymore. Mental suffering did not allow me to continue my life of so far. My friends made me go to a psychiatrist. It was an elderly, bald man with a gray beard and mustache, a bit obese, very nice at first sight. I told him what had happened, and that as a result of what had happened, my life was a nightmare for past 2 months or more. He listened carefully to me, never interrupting. Then he got up, got out from behind his desk, walked behind my back, and stood behind me. I didn't dare to look back. It was only when I felt his hand on my hips that I turned abruptly. What are you doing, sir? Relax. You are a beautiful girl. I just wanted to touch you. You know? I replied, and I was about to leave when I suddenly thought this psychiatrist might be a sex freak, but he couldn't be accused of not being frank. So I said, Doctor, you know that what you are doing is punishable by law. I know, but can I be punished for my sincerity? I thought about it too. You are very sincere, a bit too much. Madam, you accuse me of being overly honest. Do you know why you suffer? I know. He left me. By the way, also a psychiatrist like you, doctor. You are wrong. You don't suffer from a sudden breakup, but because you feel cheated. You believed in love. He kept your faith as long as he did by lying. You said you were delighted that you talked to each other. He lied. If he had been honest, you wouldn't be here today. He lied that he loved you. He lied that he wanted you. He lied because facts are merciless. He's gone. He has left you so he can live without you. And if he had been honest, always honest, you are right. It was impossible not to agree with him. Right? He interrupted me, laughing. That's not, there is no such thing as being right. I am not right. And even if I am right, I should not care for it. All I can do is to be honest, but don't ask me to be right and give good advice. There are those who give good advice generously and then disappear to sell their advice elsewhere. But everywhere it turns out sooner or later how little their advice and wisdom is worth. That these are lies that we are eager to listen to it too at a given moment in our lives because they are nice, because they are soothing, because they tickle our narcissism. We are able to pay for these lies with what is dearest for us, the love, not to mention money and all material possessions. He looked deep into my eyes, already seated back in his chair behind his desk, and whispered, but so loud that he almost screamed. But we do not value honesty. When treated honestly, we run a risk of finding out something unpleasant about ourselves. Do you know how many years I have been working here in this clinic, which, as it's easy to see, is located in my home, which I inherited from my parents? Do you know how many years? He repeated, seeing hesitation on my face. 30 years. I didn't have to run away from here. I never gave out lies, so I didn't have to run away. I didn't make a fortune by giving people ear-pleasing wisdom and advice. Maybe I have never told them anything important, but I have always been honest. And if I wanted to change anything in them as a psychotherapist, it was just that they should stop living a lie, because it will always end up in a tragedy. Have I managed to help them? I don't know. I'm saying the truth. You are right. Not that. I'm begging you. Well, sorry how to say this. I appreciate your honesty, doctor. It's good, madam. Thousands of women say in your seat. Thousands of women sat in your seat. And you were always honest, as you are with me? Unfortunately not. Unfortunately? And what do you think? I fall in love with every woman? It barely passed my throat. What? Fall in love? Are you in love with me already? After 30 minutes? I couldn't believe what I heard. Ha ha ha, madam, I fell in love with you in the first 3 seconds. One could even say, I loved you before you came here today. How is that? Have you noticed me anywhere before? Have you followed me? Oh, oh, oh. What are you saying? I have never seen you before. I swear it. I'm seeing you for the first time. I don't understand that. I had an impression that this old psychiatrist did indeed have some mental problems, since he was saying things like that. After all, it has been known for a long time that almost all psychiatrists, after several years of working among mentally ill patients, become similar to them. Do you want to understand? No, no, thank you. Maybe next time. Maybe another time, I blurted out instinctively, although a thought of running away was defaced. There was another thought behind. I had nowhere to run, and this old psychiatrist may be a weirdo, but I must admit it, during the conversation with him, I did not feel this unbearable pressure in my stomach, which made me sometimes vomit when I felt grasped by an iron hand of fear. Although he surprised me with his strange behavior and words, in a strange way, for the first time since 2 months, I felt better. Before the psychiatrist reacted to my words, I had time to say, please, doctor, please explain it to me. The explanation is very simple. Our behavior and life choices, perhaps above all, are genetically determined. After all, reproduction is the most important human destiny, and so is the choice of a life partner. And we cannot control reflexes that have been stored in the genes of our ancestors for thousands or millions of years. These were obviously good instincts, saving valuable knowledge, since both you and I are alive. Yet, if our ancestors had perished without bearing any offspring to the world hundreds and thousands of years ago, if they had not survived countless epidemics of diseases, plagues of hunger, and ever lurking wild animals, we would not be here. We are here because neither your nor my lifeline has broken anywhere. We belong to the best adapted. And what is the purpose of survival of living organism? The nature knows only one: reproduction. And then you will find out later what will be